The last one?
This will be our last one until next month. And then there's going to be another. So next month, don't tune out on Whitestown. You got to stick around.
Yeah, because Whitestown is kind of a gateway to a lot of construction, a lot of just kind of progress that's happening up that whole 65 corridor. So Whitestown has already kind of seen that big boom. I mean, it's very similar in feel to Westfield, maybe like not as much, but in terms of like the amount of activity, I mean, they're adding tons of commercial, tons of residential. I think Westfield is like on the way up, and Whitestown's maybe leveling out a little bit in terms of the building out there, but there's still tons and tons of activity, tons of building. But it is bleeding up into that corridor, and there's lots of progress heading towards Lebanon.
Yep.
And so Whitestown is an area that we highlight. Lebanon is an area that we're going to highlight next month, because I think Lebanon, from an investor's point of view, is definitely an area to keep an eye on, definitely an area to invest in now, because I think 3, 5, 10 years down the road, Lebanon's going to be unrecognizable. It's going to be totally different from what it is today. So I don't want to overshadow Whitestown, but next month,
I was going to say the same thing. Poor Whitestown. Like, talk about me, not don't jump ahead to Lebanon yet. But
redheaded. There's a redheaded stepchild there today.
Yeah, exactly. It's like the stepchild. Lebanon is going to be a great market. I mean, and honestly, we were already aware of Lebanon. It's historically been a little bit of a smaller market, so we haven't been including it yet here in these market reports. But again, we talk to a lot of investors. We get a lot of your comments. We get a lot of your requests to know what's going on in the Lebanon market. So by popular demand, we will be bringing in the Lebanon markets, and you've already said enough, so I'm going to stop there. And sorry, Whitestown, we're back to you.
Yes, and cue for Whitestown. Okay, Whitestown. We had a good run up in average price at the beginning of the year. As you can see on the dark blue line here, it's definitely flattened out a little bit, and sneak peek to next month, kind of more of the same. So it looks like rents are flat here for this year. 22 is the average, but it is up almost 6% from last year. So it's had a good run. It's just kind of flattened out a little bit. So honestly, similar to Westfield. Westfield kind of went down, but they're staying flat. So that's at least the good news. What's also encouraging is average days on the market is only 37, which is, if you've seen this or watched this, that's actually pretty darn good in this market. So that is super encouraging going into the height of the leasing season. Average sales price, again, I mentioned this in one of the other ones, but I feel like that's maybe a little bit artificially high, because there's a lot of owner occupant activity out there, and there's a lot of higher end homes going in out there. So I feel like this is artificially high. If I was an investor, I'm pretty sure I could spend a lot less than $375 for a home in Whitestown. But nonetheless, that is the average of the homes sold under $500,000. There was 76 of those sold as well. So Whitestown is definitely still up and coming. There's still tons and tons of activity out there. Lots of demand out there. And I think, honestly, I know we kind of overshadowed it with Lebanon, but I think they're going to kind of play off of each other and grow with each other. Because honestly, Whitestown, I think maybe even butts up to Lebanon. So it's going to it's going to be this like almost just this one mega area. So I know we kind of joked about it. We don't want to ignore Whitestown. Whitestown's still a great area to invest in. And Lebanon's growth is only going to help Whitestown. And it's such a good location. It's right there by 65. It's just so easy access to downtown, to Lebanon, to West Lafayette, to all of that. So Whitestown is definitely a good area to invest in.
Whitestown is a great area to invest in. Now, a couple questions I had about Whitestown, because I'm not as familiar with Whitestown. It's so far over there. And in fact, it's a little bit of the hoity-toity area there, because it's Zionsville, and it's like sometimes you don't know if you're welcome in that area or not. But Whitestown, it's a little bit of a newer city, is it not? I mean, are you going to find older homes in Whitestown? Do you think?
Not a ton, honestly. I mean, there are some, and kind of they do have like a little downtown they're trying to revitalize. So there are some older, but when I think of Whitestown, honestly, I think of new homes. I think of like right there off of 334, all those brand new homes. So yes, they are there, but that's not what I think of when I think of Whitestown. I think of everything's
Yeah.
brand new,
Yeah.
which is
Okay.
good. I mean, that means it's low maintenance, I mean, typically newer homes require a lot less maintenance. That's one of the things that we get. We get to see so many different homes and so many different outcomes. And I will say, newer homes typically have a lot less issues. If we get a home that's built in the 50s, 60s, 70s,
Yeah.
maintenance can eat you up.
Of course. Yeah. Yeah. So, and I guess my point there is it's because we do get investors that want more of a high class area
Mhm.
for that reason, lower maintenance costs, but a high class area that secures high quality applicants, extremely low vacancy, and very low turnover costs. And I think that you're absolutely going to see that here in the Whitestown area. But not only are you going to see those good things in a high class area if you're one of those types of investors, but you're also, in my opinion, because of what's happening in Lebanon right now, in the close proximity between those two towns, I think you're going to inevitably see an appreciation play, and average rents are going to continue to tick up in Whitestown. So although it's already considered a high class type play, I think there's much more to come, which is exactly why we're covering this area in the first place.
Yeah, I agree. And I've mentioned it before. And, one of the reasons why Lebanon is going to grow so much over the next 3 to 5 to 10 years is they are putting a big golf community in there, which is going to probably raise kind of the whole level of not only Lebanon, but the whole area. And that's going to bleed into Whitestown. So I think you're going to see the whole area just really get raised up over the next few years.
I completely agree. Well, that's good enough for me. We ready to wrap this up?
Yeah, let's do it. Let's call it a day.
All right, guys, we couldn't be more thankful for you guys tuning into these videos. We just love continuing to watch those numbers go up. So thank you for watching all of these. We love that you're becoming more and more a part of these conversations. You're commenting, you're requesting new markets, and we're super thankful for that. Whether you ever become a client of Red Door or not, we want to provide you a service of information that you're going to find helpful as you continue to work in this market. So continue to just absorb this information. If there's additional insights that you're curious about, or if maybe you don't agree with what we're talking about, maybe you don't see that Lebanon's going to be an awesome play in the future, let us know. We would love to engage in those conversations with you, because our ultimate goal here is to become experts on the market, which in return, we can make you guys experts in this market. So let us know what you think. Again, thank you for your viewership. We appreciate you. And I'm going to go ahead and close it out. We'll catch you in the next video. Thanks, guys.
See you guys.